I have got a PhD in life. I'm spending my whole weekend in my pajamas and I'm not doing shit. You don't pay my bills or suck my dick. So like, what do I care what some random person on the internet thinks of me? And new year, new me, you gotta have some fun. God, Tim, everything you touch just like is amazing. And I want to tell that person, no the fuck it's not. I'm only trying to make one fucking person happy, and that's Tim Castleman.
What up, everybody? It's your boy, Tim Castleman, back with another edition of the Tim Talks podcast. I've been thinking about this episode for over a week, trying to complicate it in my mind, not taking any action by writing down any bullet points, and finally I just said, F it. It's time to go. So here we go. It's sad boy season. It's breaking sad here on this episode of Tim Talks. Last one I know I was a little sad little boy, which I'm recovering from. I'm still, your boy lives a shut-in lifestyle pretty much these days. You can thank COVID and trust issues with, leaving my house. Like, oh, okay, well, there was that one time I left my house and then came back to a totally different world. I just think it's that, maybe I don't like people as much as I do just like being alone. So the walls can close in. So that's one thing where I'm just like, oh man, I definitely need to get out more. When I start driving around my hometown and I start feeling like an Alzheimer's patient, being like, when did they put that building up? When did we get a Walmart? Oh my goodness. What is that another gap? When I start doing things like that, I know that I have shut myself off in the bunker too much. I need to get out and be among the people. And luckily, life presented such an opportunity. I was able to check out my good friend, Grady Spencer and the Work. They came to town to drop their new album entitled Wait and play some live music. I think I met Grady, it's been 5 or 6 years now. I would consider him a friend. Is he going to be the dude that I'm going to call to talk off a ledge? No, but is he going to be the dude that I can call and, run some questions by him and stuff like that? I'd say, we're not going to cut each other's palms or, have a secret handshake or anything like that. But, he'd say nice things about me at my funeral, hopefully, if it ever got to that point. We got the chance to hang out, which is always a pleasure. It's so hard. This is a first world problem that most of you are going to be like, I don't give a shit, Tim. Talk about why you're sad and depressed. And musicians are on the road so freaking much. It's go, go, go. Your time with them is precious, and sometimes it just can't happen. So when I was in Mile Zero, by the way, back in Lubbock, Texas, here where we're recording this, when I was in Mile Zero, we had a chance to do lunch. I missed it. Our schedules just didn't connect. It's not like I missed anything, not like I missed an appointment or anything, but our schedules didn't connect. And as a result of that, we didn't get to do lunch. And people are like, oh man, there'll be other lunches. And it's like, yeah, if I had a normal 9 to 5, there would be. But when people are on the road and stuff like that, it's not always guaranteed. So the fact we got to hang, we got to go do some dinners. And by that, I mean one dinner. There's a local place here in town called Aloha Barbecue, right? I love this place. It's delicious. They make their barbecue and then they just sprinkle just a slight top coat of crack on it. And then they're like, here, would you like this for a very reasonable price for super large portions? And you go, yes, I will. Well, what they like to do is, first of all, there's no customer service, okay? They never answer their phone. Why would they? Because there's a line out the door 90% of the time. And then when they just want to close down, they close down. And it's not like, hey, we're going to take a long weekend. It's like, deuces, we'll be out of town for 6 months. See you. We're going back to see the family. And then they just randomly show back up. I mean, they will never be a study in a business school about this business. Their every wait is 30 minutes, and it's usually an hour plus. I mean, it's just, they're Michelin star chefs that couldn't get the type of crowd and ravenous repeat buyers that they do, despite doing 100% everything wrong. I guarantee you, if there was a checklist of like things successful restaurants will do, they're just like, all right, we're going to do the exact opposite of all this shit, and we're still going to make it. So much so that we can just ghost a town for 3 months, and then the second it comes back, it's like
Stockholm Syndrome. It really is. It's like Stockholm Syndrome. It's like an abusive lover that went away, and when they come back, you're like, I just want to hold you. I just need you in me, baby. I just need to feel you. I want to touch you. I want to feel so good. Yeah, so we didn't get a chance to go there because there was a super long wait, so we went to Hibachi, had that caught up, and it turns out your boy, spoiler alert, your boy's going on the road. We're getting the band back together. I'm going to go hang out with these guys for a couple weeks on a little 2-week run at the end of next month, which I'm very excited about. It's my first big tour that I've gone on. Am I worried about it? A little bit. Am I, telling myself to shut the fuck up constantly in these situations? Yep. Yep. Just, bands, businesses, anything. It's all about the vibe, man. It's all about the vibe. And with bands, they don't want to fuck with that vibe. So you got to be really cool to hang with. So, I'm worried because, I'm fat and I snore. So I'm, reading up on all this, Wim Hof method, mouth taping method. And I know you're like, just go get a CPAP machine. Yeah, let's try these other things first, right? Let's see if some tape to my mouth would help me, not keep a group of 4 musicians on the road. To the point where I'm thinking, I may have to sleep in the actual van. Be like, guys, you go ahead and stay in here, and I'll get pneumonia in the van so that I don't disrupt. But I'm excited. We're going to do some photo. We'll do some video, life on the road, behind the scenes, all those things, baby. So I'm excited. Great group of guys. Some music I really get behind. Good people behind the scenes as well, which, you think, oh, well, that's got to be pretty standard. It's pretty rare. It's pretty rare to get that trifecta of good people, good music, and good times. So really excited about that. I love the photo stuff. I enjoy it. I got to capture their concert, of course, and felt like I got some great shots. And man, I love it. It'll never pay the bills, and that sucks because if I could find a way to make it pay the bills, I would be more into it. But the other thing is I want to go play Rockstar for 2 weeks, and then I want to come back to my life and being a shut-in and playing with my dogs, and signing up for Xbox Ultimate Pass as a 42-year-old male because you're just like, you know what, I want to buy a video game, but I don't know which one to buy, so I'll just get this pass where I can get all the video games. I was like a kid at the dollar store. I want this, I want this, I want this. You leave, you're like, it's $25. What the It's a problem. Playing the new, it's like based after the Yakuza. I don't know. I'm not even going to try to assume the name because I don't want to get fucking canceled like they are Joe Rogan. Not going to talk about it. It's been talked about to death, especially by the time you hear this, right? It's just wild. No one can make mistakes. No one can learn. No one can grow. And no one can just be like, yeah, I say inappropriate things. It's what I do. And people are like, that's not right. You need to be like the rest of us. It's like, well, there's, I get the cookie cutter approach, but it's definitely not for everybody. I'll say it as long as I can, as long as there's me and one other person listening to this, I chose to go a different route with this thing. In the next room over, I literally have a whole studio I built to record a podcast. But just like getting ready for this one, I was like, I should think about it. Okay, I should write this stuff down. And then before I knew it, it was like a fucking week had passed. I was like, hey, time to perform, monkey. Let's get on this thing, right? Let's go, seal. Let's get your fish. Get off your ass and get it done. So I'm sitting here with a Zoom H1N on my desk and recording this. Keep it simple. It's a problem for me because I always want to complicate things. For instance, I couldn't just buy anti-static spray. I had to learn all about it. Not that much to learn. By that I mean I did a Google search, right? That's the thing about the internet. And everybody knows how easy it is to access information. So before, you used to I had to go get a book from the library. I had to call somebody. I had to talk to Sister Aunt Mary G. Now I was like, yeah, hey, you know what? I knew the 2 or 3 ingredients in anti-static spray within 10 seconds of having that thought enter my mind for the first time. So I made some to help with some product photography stuff that I'm doing. I'm learning. It's a learning experience. It's
It's making me grow stronger and appreciate different forms of photography and learning about myself through the process. I'm not really a fan of product photography so far. It's a lot of, you move one thing, you got to move everything. It's a lot of setup and tear down. You know, I go to, tonight, I'm going to go photograph a show for a band that wants me to photograph them. And what happens there happens there. I capture the moment. When it's done, it's done. There's not like, well, there was dust on the guy's sunglasses. I did one time, by the way, find a guy that had the world's longest ear hair, and I had to photograph it out. That's how noticeable to me the ear hair was, which is wild, as they say. But I'm sticking with it. I'm learning from it. I'm trying to get better at it. And one of the things, believe it or not, dust is a huge thing. Man, what am I talking about? People, I don't even have a vagina, but my dick is dry. I think it tried to go back inside. This shit is so fucking boring. But this is what I'm dealing with. I'm trying, you know, you try new things, you reach obstacles, you overcome them. I'm watching a shitload of YouTube videos. I'm manic as fuck. I'm going to bed at 5 o'clock in the morning, beating myself up over it, destroying all the processed foods I can. I mean, these Swiss rolls, the zebra cake Swiss rolls is what I'm calling them, they're a problem. And then I found salted caramel, milk chocolate. Fuck my life. Did I take down an entire 2.5 pounds of it over the weekend? Yes, I did. Did I then go back to Amazon and go, subscribe and save? How can I get the thing that's killing me the most delivered to my door the fastest so I don't have to think about it? You go, well, maybe that's why you're worried about being a shut-in. No. I just don't have a place to work outside the house. I don't want to do the running around. You know, I got old. I'm old, okay? I'm old. I'm recording this at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. I already took a nap. I got up. I mean, fuck, is my dad or grandpapa, are they recording this podcast? Like, I got up at 4 a.m. I went to bed back at 1. Got me a good solid 2-hour nap in, then got up and was like, oh shit, it's 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Do you want to be a productive member of society, or do you want to go watch the Pat McAfee show on YouTube? It's a fucking problem. Throw on top of that, meeting some nice ladies through the various dating platforms, chatting a ton with them, building up excitement, but never meeting. That's awesome. And it's not like, oh man, they ghosted me. It's like, no, yeah, hey, yeah, I don't want to meet. And it's not like I'm not into that. It's just, what the fuck is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Don't worry, by the way. Don't worry, I've been here before. So I take a drink of my water. Legit. Yeah, man, I've been here before. It sucks. It's just part of it just sucks, man, because you're just like, what is happening right now? And I feel like I wasted this whole fucking month away. Now, granted, some of it got spent because of, technical difficulties and stuff, and, drive time, blah, 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 blah. But holy shit. And it's pretty clear to me that I can't do my goal yet of, hey, I want to work 1 week a month. That's just not, that's a great goal. But after talking to the dude in Key West who was like, yeah, it took me about 5 years. I was like, maybe you can't just start the way that you, and of course, this is all basic shit, right? There's someone that's about to drive onto directly into head-on traffic because they're like, this guy's a fucking idiot. Of course you can't begin there. Well, sometimes, I'm a big fan of touching the hot stove, apparently. I got to touch it. You can't tell me the stove's hot, apparently. I like to put my hand on it. And if you tell me there's salted caramel and milk chocolate at the end of it, I may just let it rest there. I may just be like, what? I have to hold it here for 30 seconds and I get unlimited salted caramels, which are 190 calories, by the way, for 2 pieces. And I was housing them to the face like I was a fucking cam girl in, Uganda or wherever, Ukraine. There's a place, I forget what it is now, and I'm afraid to say another place because I don't want the heat, all right? Is it Romania? I believe it is. Romania is like the cam capital of the world. It's very interesting. Have I watched hours of YouTube stuff about it from the business side? 100%. Because it's just, I'm that guy. Full disclosure, last night I'm watching a video, porn video, because I'm a single male. It's what I do in place of talking to women or getting out of the house. I'm just like, hey, let me go to the internet and let me find this oddly specific thing that I enjoy that you apparently have 9 million videos of. And I'm watching the video and I'm like, I wonder how they got this stuff in the hotel room. Like, did they just show up with their porn kit basically of lighting, and they just like, hey, do you have one of those things, those trolleys that I can get all of it to, so I can? They're like, yeah, sure, we can get that for you. Like, what do you got, like a pageant or something like that? You're like, yeah, something like that, and then you just roll all of your porn equipment, your HD cameras. Or you like these guys who had like iPads, you idiot, iPhone. And the thing I always am curious, I'm always like, the lighting, how'd you get the lighting so well? But this one wasn't fair because it was a home. It was a homemade video at home, actually. And this lady has a whole room set up for this. She's got cameras. She's got lighting. She's even got a Yeti mic. This is what I'm talking about, right? Most guys are shuffling it 30 seconds. They shut their whole fucking computer down, looking at their reflection in the monitor, just being like, you're a piece of shit. You know this? You're a piece of shit. I can't believe it's gotten so bad that you're watching ladies who cough up fur balls to get off or whatever terrible thing. Reminds me, I probably told the story before. I don't care. I'm going to tell it a bunch of times. It's my fucking podcast and my spiral, right? My ex-wife, lovely woman, beautiful woman, lovely, big fan of Jesus, celebrates his entire collection. Had all the books, had all the tapes, loved talking about it, loved learning about it, big fan. Not a big fan of anything sexually related. Not adventurous, lights off, missionary, I love you, I love you, I love you. Okay? That's great for the first half century that we're together. But I have the internet, and I have feelings, so I want to try some shit. And by try some shit, I mean maybe just a little hair tugging, just a little, little yank on the braid. What is it with the horse? I don't see. This is why you don't go to community college and public schools. I don't know the horse parts. And I've lived in Texas for 20 years. I'm not a real cowboy. I don't wear a pair of cowboy boots. And I say reckon and y'all too much. Anyway, back to the sex dungeon. So while we're going through the divorce, she mentions her concern about my sexual needs and how I was engaging in rough sex. And when asked to expand upon that, she told me that during a trip to Las Vegas for my birthday, on my birthday night, I pulled her hair, and she did not like that. And she was worried about my expanding watching of porn and wanting to try those ideas out. Now, what do you do in that situation? Because you want to be understanding. By the way, I want to be clear. I've grown a lot as a person, not so much of a shithead as I was back then. So my view on this now is different. My view right now, is right where I've been beaten into society to be, right? I should be understanding and it should be okay. And I should be like, it's fine. I like lights off, missionary. You're beautiful, amazing. Thank you. Have a good night. That's what I think now. Oh, baby, I understand. It's okay. You've had a rough day of shopping. Yeah. Was it tough to go to the Louis Vuitton store and pick something up new? Is that what's got you exhausted? And, you just want to get a good night's rest. That's fine. I mean, normally I have to fly you to international waters to have sex with you. But now you're saying I can't even have sex with you in domesticated territories that we have conquered as America outside of Texas. Okay, cool. It's great. No, it's fine. No, I'll use the tears for lube. It's fine. Don't worry. I need these. No, it's good. It clears the tear ducts out, and it's awesome. Now, I'm going to go in the shower. If you hear some crying, don't worry. Don't worry. I'm just really into it. That's how I feel now. Then I go in the shower and I go, I'm a positive man. I support my lady through all of her trials and tribulations. I'm sure she appreciates it. And then she's in the bed texting, I can't wait to get back and fuck you, to someone else I don't even know. That didn't happen. That's just fiction, like all of this is, right? Parts of it are real. I think you'll know the parts that are fiction. The texting part to do back home was fiction, as far as I know. I never suspected her of anything like that. So that's how I am now. But back then, I'm thinking like, okay, so let me get this straight. You've complained that you had to go find some lingerie, that it took you a little while to find some lingerie for my birthday. I believe it was a big one, like a 30th birthday. And then, you had to wear the lingerie, and I gave you a little tug on the mane or whatever it is during the process. And you don't like that. And all I can think is like, there is shit on my browser history from the past 24 hours then that would put you in the fetal position. I mean, I probably watched a video while taking a piss or a shit in the casino that would just leave you sobbing then. Like, she thought we were on the penthouse, and I was like, no, madam. You're on the ground floor of the hotel. By the way, there's 22,000 floors on this hotel. You're on the ground level. I understand you think this is a penthouse with a view, but this is actually just where we serve breakfast. So we're going to need you to just take a left and then a right. Go ahead and take that elevator to reality world where the rest of the population is. I mean, I just don't get it. I've got a friend of a friend who like bitches to us that his wife wants sex too much. Yeah, man, it was really terrible. She'll send me videos and photos and sext me during the day, and then I'll come home and she'll be naked except for an apron and some fuck me shoes on. Yeah, man, it's just all the time. She's just like, come here. Hey, hey, you took out the trash. Awesome. Come here. I want to fucking deep throat your cock. Like, I'm just like, oh my God. By the way, we've lost all the children in the podcast. I'm sorry. I did not expect that to come out like that. You know what I'm saying? She's trying to forget her childhood on his fucking phallus, and he's bitching about it. Meanwhile, on my 30th birthday, I'm using tears for lube in the shower, being like, there's no place like home. There's no place like home. So anyway, I'm doing well. You can tell things are perfectly normal. These are thoughts of a well-rationed, level-headed person. And in all seriousness, I don't want anyone to worry, okay? I'm medicated. I have licensed professional therapists that I work with. Like, I'm good. I'm starting to kind of unpack this onion because it's like I got to be getting something out of staying like this. And I think it is. This is just where this is the beginning of the therapy, right? I think it's that I feel something. Like when I'm like sad boy season, like I fucking feel it. Like music that I listen to, it's gotta fucking hurt, right? I don't want to hear about your back road truck. It's like, I want to hear about the bitch that broke your heart, the dog that died, the girl that cheated. Like, I want to hear about you almost killing yourself with your wild and crazy antics. Like, let's go deep. I don't want this surface level shit. And I wonder if, because I don't get feeling in other parts of my life, whether it be from, my personal life, you can tell how well that's going. I'm literally texting with a lady over anti-static spray. And I'm just like, well, listen, I'm sorry. I know, like, this has got to be drying out your vagina. This is, but it's like, what the fuck do you want me to talk? Do you want me to lie and be like, guys, listen, I'm out here on the road right now, killing it, crushing it. It's like, no, I got some cool stuff planned. I'm going on tour. This shit takes time. Plus, like I said, I can't just always be out, which is disappointing, of course, because those are the moments where I think I feel and enjoy life the most. And, or it's a work in progress like all this stuff is. And I think my brain just keeps refusing to accept that. It's like, hey man, we're not at the finish line on some of this stuff, on none of this stuff, and it's always going to change. And coming through that point of view of being like, hey, life is a constant flux. It's always going to change. We'll see what happens. versus I made it, I did it, I crossed the finish line, I don't want to have to run any more laps. And they're like, no, that was just that. Okay, that wasn't really the finish line, sir. That's just the first mile marker. And you're like, no, there was a banner and streamers, and we had a ceremony, so I'm done. And like, no, sir, that's just the first of 27 million stops. You went to stop one, and you got to keep going. And I'm like, well, I'm going to sit here for 3 to 5 years, catch my breath, and find myself, and try a bunch of different fucking ways that. Some have been awesome and some haven't. Have I moved? Yes. Is that white noise in the background? I'm rolling on my chair. I apologize. Did I get shifty? Maybe I touched a nerve. I don't know. So I feel like maybe some of the sad boy season, I feel something there. So it's the only thing I feel. So maybe I'm drawn towards that. Because I can't see what the fuck I get out of being depressed and off my schedule and beating the shit out of myself emotionally. You know, like in therapy, I'll give you some cheats. I'll give you some hacks. They're always like, your inner child. That's a big fucking thing, okay? Your inner child. You close your eyes. For me, I just look at the center of my heart and the center of my being, and there is a small 6-year-old child. I don't know, 6-year-old cute, 4-year-old child. And when that 4-year-old child takes the photo, and it's covered in dust, I go, you stupid fucking idiot. I can't fucking believe how dirty and dusty this is. Do you know how much time this is going to take to edit it? Man, you're a fucking idiot. How did you not know that microfiber cloth, when it's dry, is static producing, along with the compressed air that you were so like, I'm so fucking smart, I got compressed air. Guess what that generates? Fucking static. You little fucking bastard. Piece of shit. No wonder no one likes you. And apparently, that's not healthy. Instead, what you're supposed to be like is, it's okay, little buddy. Mistakes happen all the time. Just know that I love you regardless. Now come here, give me a big hug. Huh? Head on traffic. Just swerve to the left. Night. Don't do that, please. The world needs you. The world needs you. You're beautiful. Stick around a while. Take a nap. Take a nap instead. That's what I tell myself. Oh, you're thinking about ending it all, huh? Yeah, well, let's sleep on that. So just sleep on it and then talk to somebody. So, yeah, just, it's hard being nice to that kid. Because for 42 years, 30, 35 years at least before, 37, 38 years, I wasn't. And the tide's changing, we're putting some wins up for the humble folks. We're getting some at-bats and we're getting some on bases and we're even close to maybe scoring a run or two. And all of this language, it fucking sucks, man. Therapy's great. It helps you move the shit. But man, it sucks sometimes. Just real talk. You're like, oh man, feel like I'm really making progress. Feel there's a light at the end of the tunnel. And you're like, wait a second, why does that light have a fucking locomotive attached to it? Oh, that's a train. Great. Or worse, you feel like you're about to go to the tunnel, you can see the light, you do that, and then you fall through a fucking hole, and you get up, you dust yourself off, and you look at the same direction where you saw that bright light, and there's nothing. And then you turn around, and you faintly see this small light at the complete opposite side of where you just fucking were. And you're like, well, guess I want to get out. I got to start walking that direction. And guess what? You get to the end of that, and you fall through another fucking hole. Turn around, and you're just like, what the fuck? And I keep falling through holes. By the way, everyone falls through the holes. That's what you're supposed to do. But holy shit. It gives you a lot of tools, but it's not like passive viewing of this shit where you're just like, yeah, I don't feel anything while I go through this. And because of my active lifestyle and shut-in lifestyle and all of that, my brain has plenty of time to think. And if it doesn't, I'll just put 60-plus hours of YouTube videos a week on various topics into it and see what comes out. Now, look, you got to make the gumbo. You got to make the stew. You got to do a lot to get the results that the results I want to get. What the fuck am I talking about? Like I'm Steve Jobs? Like I'm Elon Musk? It's like, hey man, how about you write an email to your list that you've been talking about writing, I don't know, for the last month? How about you just log in there and just start typing like we do that, like we do this? And here I am worried about Elon Musk problems. I want to solve every fucking problem before it begins. By the way, this sounds like a spiral. We're good. This is good. This is the mana, as The Rock would say. We're getting it out. We're scooping this shit out in the heaps. And because of that, and we're making progress and feeling it, I have to stop it with the medicinal aid. Thank you. Now, I've talked about this before. It's not a... I love therapy. I'm so thankful for it. It's great. I feel like I'm adulting like a motherfucker. And have been, and I just can't seem to get my shit together. And that's very disappointing, and I'm very upset about that. And I don't appreciate that. And I wish that I had it together like all my friends on social media seem to. That's a joke. I know that's not true. But yeah, man, I want to go deep conversations, doing this tour. I don't want to just be like, we stopped at a Buc-ee's. It was fun. I want to have Grady, crying on the way to Memphis. Be like, tell me about your fucking childhood. What did it mean when your puppy died? What happened when your palm walked out of your life? And be like, my dad was there the whole time. And be like, could you feel what it would be like if you abandoned it? Come on now. Come on. Let's do it. So that's me. That's where we're at. Working through it, figuring things out, layer by layer of the onion. Some books that really helped, by the way. The Obstacle is the Way by Ryan Holiday is a great book. There's another awesome book, which I cannot remember the title of it, but I will try to remember for the next episode and tell you about it. But to start off, The Obstacle is the Way. I read through that thing in like 4 days. I need to actually read it again. Like, I keep trying to read other books, not going well, and I think it's because my brain is like, no, we're not over this other shit. I don't want to learn about my ego. I want to learn about, how we're going to get over this fucking obstacle that we're going through. So, my goal for this next month will be to reread that book. And the other book, which I can't remember, sorry about that, I will pull it in for the next episode and do that. So, again, guys, I'm good. Like, this is the shit they don't show you on TV. This is the other side of it. And, truthfully, I'm blessed. Now, it may sound crazy to hear all this shit, but it's like I've survived my hardest days. Right? I've been able to work and make real meaningful progress that those in the past would be surprised. And even if they're not, it doesn't fucking matter because that's why they're in the past. Woo, that felt like Oprah. It's like I'm a good person. I'm a good person because I tell you, I like myself a lot more is what I mean by that. And we're just working on the self-talk and small wins instead of small losses. And a bunch of other shit that probably bores you to death. I don't know. Do you want to hear me talk about this stuff? Leave a comment. Rate, review, subscribe, do whatever you can to do, to keep me alive. Because your comments and your feedback are my oxygen that propel me to watch copious amounts of YouTube videos for a week, trying not to do this podcast, and then being like, all right, asshole, you're doing it, and now it's done. Thanks for listening. I'll try to do better next time. Be well. Be well.